Yeah, that's right. I'm glad someone is following, but for those who have not, Ukrainians have done one of the war operations that many people claim to be the best operation in all the war history. So we've done something which was really, really great, and we believe it kind of helped us to move forward in this war. So the name of this operation is the spider web, and here are just some kind of boring facts, and then let's see the pictures. So the spider web operation happened on June 1st. It was a military operation that was prepared for more than 1 year, and let's see what it was. So, as I mentioned a few times before, Ukrainian drones are getting better and better with each day, year, and so on. So the Ukrainian drones were able to destroy around $7 billion worth of Russian aircrafts that were stationed in Russia. So there were like, let's see, there were 1, 2, 3, 4 airports in Russia where they kept all the military planes, and Ukrainians were able to send drones here, and using the AI they were able to attack those airports, and they destroyed around 40% of all aircrafts in Russia. And you need to consider that Russia right now doesn't really produce any new aircraft, and those that they have are pretty old from the Cold War era, when they kind of like developed the industry. So many of them are those that are like developed specifically for a nuclear weapon or specifically to carry the other weapons and so on. So this was very, very good for Ukrainian army. And so how did they do that? First of all, they prepared the operation for over than 18 months, and they pretty much used just trucks, and Ukrainians, and I believe not just Ukrainians, but they hid all the drones under the trucks, and they were able to send those trucks in Russia to those airports, and using the AI they were able to attack those aircrafts at the same time, and they destroyed 1/4 of all the aircrafts that Russia has. So that's how it looked, the drones in the trucks. And there are a few aircrafts that are specifically important for the war, and so they believe that there are some calculations that say that for Russia to be able to conduct the war, they need 12 aircrafts of Tu-22, which are like one of the strongest aircrafts that Russians have. But right now they only have 2 left. So since they're not able to produce more of them, it's a very good position for Ukrainians now. And most of these aircrafts were designed specifically to carry nuclear bombs and like to launch new missiles to Ukraine. And they were supposed to attack one more airport that they were not able to attack, but 4 of them were kind of hit by Ukrainian army. What's great about this operation is that it's the first time when the AI was used to conduct any military operation, so it's like brand new. And I tried to read some extra documents on how Ukraine was able to develop something that brand new. And there are a few spies that would say that since the UK opened a few AI centers in Ukraine, so it might be the operation that was kind of like conducted together with the UK, the United Kingdom. So it's something brand new, and it has never ever been done yet. So the AI controlled those drones, and the AI was able to kind of sense the drones and like hit those aircrafts that were stationed in the airports. So I'm not sure if you guys have had this news on Taiwanese TV, but it's all around Ukraine for sure. It's a very proud moment for us. No one knows how it's going to be, because usually if Ukrainians do something, for example, they hit the bridge or something, then we get a lot of missiles coming from Russia the next day, which kills lots of people in Ukraine. So we were really nervous and trying to see what Russia is going to do in response, because they really like to kind of like do something in response if Ukrainians hit something. But for surprise, no one actually comments on that. So Russian president didn't say anything about that. Trump is silent too. So far there are no comments from like big politicians. Yeah, and here is actually the person who stands behind the whole operation. Maybe we can read his name. His name is Vasyl Maluk, and he is the head of the security service of Ukraine. So he is the one who planned the whole operation. And here he is planning how to hit all these airports, looking at the Russian map. Yeah, and so one-fourth of all aircrafts, as I said, is around 40 Russian aircrafts. The number seems not that big, right? But we need to remember that most of the aircrafts that Russians have are very, very old. So sometimes to send one aircraft to Ukraine, they need to kind of like rebuild two of them. So since there is no production as much of new aircrafts, it's a good number for Ukraine. All right, that's all. And let's move to Ukrainian language. So it's pretty much the last worksheet that we've got today. And to access it, you get to go to lesson 12. And I think I wrote the wrong name. So it actually says lesson 11 worksheet, which is not true, but that's the one you get. We will just see how to make plurals in Ukrainian. We will not have it during the exam, but just to see what the batteries are. And then we will talk about food. And that's it for today. So let's see. We haven't talked about plurals, how to make plurals in Ukrainian. Actually, it's not that hard, because most of the nouns would follow the first row, and everything you see after are exceptions. So if you remember the first thing, you're good to go, because that's how most of the words are changed. So over here you got a table. So the one here says vin, which stands for masculine. Then over here you have the word odnena, which means singular. So these words are all one. And then you have množina, which is plural. So, and here is like the shortcut, what exactly you have to do to get the plural. So let's see, if you get the words that end with the consonant, pretty much any word, masculine, this means consonant, you need to add so that's all, not too hard. I'm gonna read the word. Can you read the same word in plural? I'm pretty sure you can do it. So for example, number 1, you've got masculine ends with the consonant, student. So what will be the plural? That's good. You've got one pencil case, so penal. If you have many, it's gonna be nice. And then computer, so in Ukrainian it's computer. If you have many, it's yeah, that's good. So not too hard. If masculine ends with the consonant, we just add and you've got your plural. As I said, these are exceptions, so not so many follow that. If there are masculine nouns that end with these letters, maybe we can name them. What letters do you see? You've got sh, good. What else? Ch, and then zh, sh, and the same soft sign or r. you need to add E. So that's the rule. Just like here. Number one is going to be teacher, викладач. How do you say teachers? Good, викладачі. So next time please say, this one is the key, like something you will close the door with. So ключ. And this one is? Ключі, that's good. So one bush, like the plant, the bush. Kush, many. Кущі, that's good. One grandpa, дідусь, many. Yeah, that's good. Дідусі. One king, король. Королі. And the last one is the doctor, лікар. Лікарі. Okay, that's all. So if you have these letters, please mind it's gonna be E at the end. And the last one is Y. So, because sometimes masculine ends with Y, right? So in this case, we need to remove Y and we need to write down Y. So let's see, museum is музеї. If it's many, it's going to be музеї. Good job. So Y, музей, many, музеї. So you kind of like just say it longer. Because pretty much that's what you say, right? If you have this letter here, the pronunciation is yi. So instead of muzей, you need to say музеї. So just a bit longer. I will just write down Latin to y, e, yi, pretty much, or maybe more like this. Okay, so музеї, and the one here is the driver, водій. If you have many, it's going to be... Yeah, good. Maybe let's say again. водії. Good. And then a few more exceptions. I don't think we need to look at all of them, but these are just to remember. Okay, so if something ends with ok, we need to remove. Let's just do one of them, okay? So the first word is the dormitory. Could you say please? It's going to be гуртожиток. So every time it ends with ok, you need to remove the o and add So if it's plural, no o over here, no more. So let's say гуртожитки. And then if you have the word that ends with н or т, we need to cut a. That's the rule. So for example, if you have one boy, let's say хлопець, you need to cut it off. And since it ends with ц, we have e at the end. So let's say хлопець. Oh, sorry. Since we have the soft sign, my bad. That's why we have e at the end. Let's say хлопець. And plural хлопці. Alright. And these ones. So if you have e before the last letter, it's gonna be changed to o. Let's read those. Okay. So number one, the table, steal. And if you have money, it's gonna be. Okay, once again, stolen. This one is a knife. Let's say niche. And if you have many of them, it's going to be noji. That's good. This one is nis, the nose. If you've got many of them, nos. Okay, it works. And then one is vin, and many of them, вони. So plural, they. I guess it's not the best example because it's actually not the same word. So this one is he and this one is they. So вони. I don't think it comes from this word, honestly. Alright, so let's do some of them. Some of the words here. I don't think we need to do all of them. Let's start with number one, which is the hairdresser. How do you say the hairdresser in Ukrainian? Yeah, once again, перукар. And since it ends with a, you don't need to add u, but you need to add e. So what's the plural for перукар? Okay, once again, perukari. Alright, then you have the second one, which ends with y. So this one is a driver. How do you say driver in Ukrainian? Vodi. And there are many of them, so we remove y, but you need to write down y. So what's going to be the plural? Vodi. Once again, vodi. And the one here ends with a consonant, and it's not R, it's R. So this is just the stable when you add U. So the one here, you have got a policeman. Let's say militioner. Yeah, that's the policeman. So if you get many of them, you just follow the standard rule, and it's gonna be militionere. Okay, let's say militionere. Alright. So if you want to remember, please focus on the first line, because that one is the most important. It's the most common. The rest is more rare cases. If something ends with a consonant, you add U. If it ends with y, you need to change it to y. So these two are going to be the most common cases. Alright, and as I said, I don't think we need to do all of them. Let's move. So now let's talk about her. So the one here is going to be feminine, vona. And exactly the same. If you've got one, you need to cross out a and change it to make plural. So that's the main rule, the first line. Let's try. So number one is going to be the book. I say singular, please say plural. If it's just one book, it's going to be knyžka, many. Knyžky, that's good. So then you have mom. If it's one, mama. If it's many, mama. Nice. And then you've got sisters. One sestra, many. Good. So sestre or sister, it's up to you actually. Then the one here is going to be if it's chi, shi, sh, or a, or cha. Actually, it's cha. I don't know. I just skipped it. Sorry, it's cha, not a. You've got to change to e. So if it's cha or sha or sha or ja, then we change to e. So that's what they meant if you get these letters before a. So for example, you have a square. One square is going to be ploshcha, and if you've got many, it's going to be ploshchi. So over here you've got the TV program, передача, and if many, it's going to be передачи. All right. Then quite often we have the word ending with ya. In this case, ya changes to e. Let's see. So stele is a ceiling. So one stele and many stele. Then you get the pot. So if it's one pot, it's going to be castrulia. If it's many, castruli. And the last one is going to be something that ends with iya. So if you've got iya, you would change to e. For example, here you've got excursia, which is an excursion, a tour. If you've got many, it's going to be excursie. All right, now be careful. We've got to read these words and make plurals. I will say the word, please make the plural, okay? Number one, shafa. The plural is shafa. That's good. One friend. Podruga. Many. Podruge. That's good. Sestra is one. Many. Sestre. Fabrika is one. Many. Fabrike. That's good. Lampa is one. Many. Lampy. Loshka is one. Many.
Ложки.
Ложки, that's good. Pogoda is one, many.
Погоди.
Pogody, right. Raketa is one, many.
Ракети.
Rakete. Oh, and by the way, raketa means a rocket or a missile. So that's something that Russians sent. Rakete. Then you got the head. Голова, many. Голови. Рука is one, many. Ruke, and then the first kind of different thing. Stelia, plural is steli, thank you. And then chasha is one cup, many is chashi, good. It's sh, that's why we need e. So just two of them are different. The rest is just and please remember a and ya, so these are the most common. The rest is less common than these two. Alright, and the lesson. So it's going to be neuter. Exactly the same. You've got singular and plural. So if our singular neuter word ends with o, we need to change it to a. So let's see. One window, вікно, many. Вікна. One slovo, one word, many. Slovo, that's good. One ear, вухо, many. Вуха, and one city is going to be misto, many. Mista, thank you. Then sometimes neuter ends with a. In this case, we change to ya, just like here. So let's see. One more, one sea, many. Море. One pole, one field, many. Поле. One heart, serce, many. Serce, that's good. So quite easy. The only exception is when you have che, she, shche, and je. So in this case, we change a to a instead of ya. So just like here, you've got призвище, it's going to be призвища, училище, училища. And anytime the word ends with ya, we do not change it. So like завдання or речення in plural is going to be the same. Завдання, речення. The same with волосся. Do you remember? Волосся is neuter. And it's not plural, it's singular because it doesn't change. Alright, let's see what you learned. Please just follow this. So the first examples are very, very easy. Let's see, so one city, misto, many is going to be mista. So one word is going to be slovo, many. Slovo, that's good. Tilo, one body, many. Tila, that's good. One knee, the body part. Kolino, many. Kolina, good job. So one forehead, cholo, many. Chola, nice. One ear, vucho, many. Vucha. Oh, the exception, sorry. Oko is one eye. You know how to say plural. What's plural for ochi? That's right, that's an exception. Then you have плече, when you have just one shoulder. And sorry. One more exception. I didn't plan to scare you like this, but it's going to be плечи. Sorry. And the last is going to be обличчя, so it's a face. And the plural is going to be обличчя. Okay, it doesn't change. Okay, these two, please, just don't mind them. All right. And right now, we get to look at these guys. We talked about something much more pleasant, which is food. And over here, they ask you to write down the plurals, but actually sometimes it's not plurals, it's singular. So you need to make singular to plural and plural to singular. You need to do the opposite of what you see. Sorry. All right. Let's start with the most stable food that Ukrainians ever have, which is our favorite soup. What's the name of the soup? Borscht, that's good. Let's make plural out of that. So borscht is masculine, it ends with sh. So how to make plural? Yeah, you need to add e. Borshi. So the second one is a bit more complicated, but let's do it together. So this is something we like a lot, and I really struggle to find it in Taiwan, because it seems like you do guys make pancakes, crepes, but they're very different from what we do, because I feel like you tend to make them very crispy, and we like them super soft. So that's like the main difference. And maybe I just go to wrong places, but every time I feel like your crepes are quite crispy when we see them as something soft. So that's something, that's the word for crepes in Ukrainian, which is? Yeah, good. So let's again, mlynci. That's many of them, not just one. So to make plural out of that, we need to follow, sorry, to make singular out of that, we need to follow the one here. So mlynci ends with nci, so that's the ending that we need to make singular. Good. So we need add, and then we get the word. Let's say mlynet. Yeah, when you want just one of them, it's going to be mlynet. So the next thing is something that looks like dumplings, but we separate dumplings and something that we call vareniki. So for us, what we call pelimani or dumplings would be something with meat only. So if it has meat inside, that's the dumplings. And then we get these guys that can have pretty much anything inside. It could be potatoes, it could be cabbage, it could be cherries, strawberries. We like them sweet too. Then if it's bigger and it has not just meat but something else, we use this word. What is it? Yeah, let's again, vareniki. And this one is the simplest one, so it's pretty much plural that ends vareniki. So when you have just one, it's going to be oh, this is plural, vareniki. So if you want singular, it's going to be varenik. Varenik. So just one. So the next is this kind of juice that you make not out of fresh fruit and vegetables, but from boiled ones. What's the name of it? Let's again, compote. And if you want to make it in plural, it's going to be the easiest one. So you get something that ends with the consonant and you just add u. So the plural is compote. And the last is quite a famous thing. Maybe not here in Taiwan, but I can see it, let's say in Australia or in the UK, many European countries too. What's the name in English? Sorry, I forgot. Let's see. Oh, chicken Kiev is the English name. So it's pretty much the cutlet, and the only difference is that we use the full chicken inside, and then before we fry that, we also put the butter inside. So once it's ready and you cut it in half, you've got all those, firstly the butter, and then some dill and some other greens. This is fantastic. If you ever have a chance, please try it. It's actually not that hard to cook, so you might find the recipe too, because you guys, you pretty much have everything here. You've got the chicken, oil, some butter and some greens, and then you're good to go. Quite easy to find on the internet. So it's named after my city, the capital, Kyiv. And let's try to read the name of it in Ukrainian. Котлета по-киевски. Yeah, it's like cutlet. I think it's a French taken word. So it's any meat that is kind of like not in the original form. And then po-kyievski means after Kiev. So following the Kiev recipe, pretty much. In English, it's Kiev chicken. If you like to cook, I guess you can try to find the recipe. I feel like it's going to be quite original because it's very easy. There are no extra steps. All right, so actually we're supposed to kind of like read the ingredients and match the things, but I think we don't need to do that now. We can just make the plural again. So the one here is going to be feminine, kotleta. If you want to make plurals, it's going to be let's see. So feminine ends with a. You need to cross a. You need to write down a. So one kotleta, many kotlety. That's good. All right. So let's finish here. No more plurals today. What we're gonna do now is a little dialogue that happens in this place in Ukraine. It's hard for me to find any analogy in Taiwan, but if you want to get any cheap original Ukrainian food, that's where you go. Maybe for you guys it's bafan or like kura sushi for Japanese, I'm not sure, but this is something that you would go during your lunchtime if you don't want to spend lots of money. A very popular chain of Ukrainian food in Ukraine. And unfortunately, you couldn't see the name here because it's a very blurry picture, but I want to find it. All right, so that's the name. Can you try to read the name, please? Yeah, that's good. Once again, Puzata. Hata. Okay, and you've got Latin here, so Puzata Hata. Puzata means something that has a belly, so like someone fat, like fat with a belly. Hata is the house, the old house that Ukrainians had. So Puzata Hata is kind of like a funny name, which means like the fat house, or it also kind of means that there is a lot going on inside. So if you hear the word Puzata Hata, it feels like there are lots of things going on. And there's lots of food, and they do have lots of different designs inside, but they like to follow a very typical, traditional Ukrainian hata kind of style. So you will see, I don't know, like the white walls and like all traditional fabrics and all that. So that's how it would look in old times. And you just pick up any food you want, and these ladies are always there to help you. And let's just see like a short video from this guy. He's a Canadian journalist in Kiev, and he just attended Puzata Hata. That's the reel from his Instagram. So let's see what happened there.
How hata is your Puzata?
Jay Seashell Official and I are trying the most expensive and least expensive dish at Puzata Hata. Dalvai. Puzata Hata is a Ukrainian restaurant chain consisting of affordable cafeteria-style Ukrainian food. It was founded in 2003, but in 2024, Jay and I are trying to get some yada. I'll go first. I got the little sauce. The most expensive dish, they said, was baked salmon, going for 180 hryvnias. But let's find the cheapest.
That's what in borscht getting a borscht.
They said the cheapest is borscht, going for 42 hryvnias. Let's give it a go. But first, gotta grab the essentials. Niche, vilka, stdyhfyf. After you get the food, you gotta find the table.
And if that's the Canadian trick.
Sometimes cleaning yourself.
Typical American, pass the buck.
Let's try them out. Borscht,
It's not the best borscht in the world.
salmon. Alright, can I just go for it with my hands?
Do it.
I don't usually like fish. This is no different. Good food, good prices. Busata hata, don't put much in it.
Alright, quite a solid video, but there are a few phrases that we're gonna use later on today. So they're asking these questions. Яка тут найдорожча страва? So strava is the meal, найдорожча is the most expensive. Яка, you know, so what's the most expensive dish here? And the most expensive is the one here. How do you say salmon in Ukrainian? Losos. That's good. And as you can see, it's kind of only, or not only, I'm not sure, 5 USD for salmon. And actually salmon is very expensive in Ukraine because we don't have the excess. I feel like it's cheaper here, kind of, it feels cheaper because you got the sea, the ocean. And then this guy asked for найдешевша, which is like the cheapest one. The cheapest dish, я хочу, I want найдешевшу страву. And he said, quite a useful phrase. That's how you order things. So how would you order? Yeah, you know all the words, so it's very easy to order in Ukrainian. You just need to say, please, one борщ small, or you could say one small борщ. You could change the word order, it's up to you. And then you've got what you want. So let's again, будь ласка, один борщ маленький. Or you could say один маленький борщ, doesn't really matter. So that's how you order in Ukrainian. I guess it's time to almost to have a break time. We will see how to order in Ukrainian, but pretty much you know already. Let's see who was here today, but please don't leave because I noticed 2 lessons ago some people left. I will make sure everyone is here, okay? So don't leave. Courses, Ukrainian in class. Today's number is 5656. Alright, so maybe we can finish 2 minutes earlier. If you have any questions about midterm or anything, you can come to me now. I'll be staying here for 2 more minutes. If not, let's just have a break a bit earlier.
真的吗？哦，有一点。我知道昨天上那个2文所谓大师，
可请假。
是，昨天那个学校新评的人有来，
新
的那个
怎样
在宣导，
要情节其实为什么会来那这个？
是啊，因为说上礼拜就有个同学好像就在上课之前，在那个大老师有一些事情，因为我是坐在后面没有看到，所以我听到的小说好像是
他在所谓他讲
跟同学做责辩吧，然后是为他老师在上课，他好像做了一些，然后做的是个不好的东西。我不知道，因为我坐在后面，可是我旁边的人，可是旁边人是好像他知道后来那个时候他老师要找然后学校那个
他做还是讲？
是上礼拜他那个同学在做那个很奇怪的，
什么意思？什么叫做很奇怪？
他好像
在那边看那些小孩，男的，
反正可是我不知道
男的，
男的，但是
所以他做的，
因为我坐在那边，我不知道他做什么。
在干嘛？
我有点看到，我本来想问旁边的人，可是旁边的人说，因为好像旁边的人也不好意思跟我讲什么，所以我真的不知道他到底说什么。后来，反正上礼拜就昨天那个新埔的人还是来这边上，
有趣。然后，
对啊。可是我明天上面打给老师的人，然后问他老师到底发生什么事情，
其实也不用跟
我不知道他到底做了什么事情，
然后呢，是为他很开心。
不是就是他做那个很奇怪的动作之后，老师的脸都变了，
他做给老师看，这老师看到他在干嘛？
当他的面主那个人，
他在跟老师讲话，还是他自己没在上课，自己在玩讲？
我不知道他到底做什么事，但是就是
还是他闭嘴的事情？
这真的好像是做不雅的事，但我不确定是想不想。
这跟上课有关系，还是他自己在干嘛？
就是老师上课上到一半就说，你有来过2文1的课吗？
有啊，就有一次。
所以不知道你有一个男生。
应该在群上。我这个教室之前去，然后我一个年纪的弟弟嘛，一直说什么要我教他，然后
对啊，他好奇怪哦。
是那个吗？
不是有另外一个。
那个弟弟还有去。
没有了。
然后就哇，他可以。
对啊。就是对啊，昨天的事情，我是说
昨天上礼拜吧。
上礼拜，然后是昨天那个许维泰老师就找17评的人来，
是礼拜五吗？
礼拜三，然后礼拜五是那个实习的课的。
礼拜五是实习的课。
对，所以那个史威团老师有找新品的，还有那个领导老师来处理的。之后我们明天遇到领导老师的时候，可以问他到底发生什么事情。
那个实习课上几节？
上2个小时啊。
这么好。
对啊。
在哪里 ？L 还是在这边？
在 L 美术馆那个。
是第一次也是他室内的第三，还是另他自己在那上课？
领导上2个小时啊，实习是领导老师上的。我也是
他在跟别人聊天吗？
因为我不知道，我可以问这个人说他昨天发生什么事情。他有3个问题的。我问他一下。不知道吵架发生什么事情。对，我不知道我太多了。
Alright, let's continue. So I hope you remember Akari and Makola. They met in the library maybe 3 lessons ago. And finally they go on a date. And since they're students, they go to Pusata Hata. And right now we're gonna read this little dialogue. Don't leave, I see you leaving. So we got to start with Makola, and Makola says something about this day today, about the weather. Could you try to read? So what does he say?
So,
Dang, that's good. Let's say one more time. It's gonna be сьогодні такий гарний день. Alright. Can you try to translate? Do you remember what that one means? Huh? Yeah, today. And такий means it's such a good day. So like дуже. You could say сьогодні дуже гарний день. Or сьогодні такий гарний день. Такий is such a. And then he keeps talking. So what else does he say? What kind of day is it today? Yeah, that's good. Once again, сонячно і тепло. Maybe a Russian department can help. What does that mean? Sunny is good. So сонячно is sunny. And it's not just sunny, it's also тепло. What is тепло? Yeah, it's sunny and warm. Thank you. And then he asks a question. Let's read the question. Yeah, good. Let's say one more time. Яка зараз погода в Токіо? А яка зараз погода в Токіо? Can anyone translate?
Яка зараз
No? Oh, I think I can guess. So they talk сонячно, тепло. What do you think they talk about? Huh? Yeah, this part is good. So what's зараз? I think I know the word зараз. It's now. Погода, I think I said it. Weather. And Tokyo is Tokyo. So, what is the weather like in Tokyo right now? What's the weather in Tokyo now? Яка is like what, which, зараз, now, погода, weather in Tokyo. Яка зараз погода в Tokyo? And let's see what Akari says. She says, how is the weather? Yeah, good. Once again, в Токіо зараз холодно і дощово. I guess Russian department can translate. What does that mean?
cold. Tokyo is
In Tokyo, weather is raining.
Yeah, that's good. So holiday is going to be cold. The show is raining. In Tokyo now is cold and raining. It's cold and raining in Tokyo now. So you get lots of words to describe the weather. You have сонячно, тепло, холодно и дощово. Maybe we can talk about the weather in Taipei. How would you ask about the weather in Taipei? Could you ask the question first? That's good. So яка зараз погода в Taipei? And what would you say? So you could use the word сьогодні, which is like today, or maybe we can use something else. What did they use? They use now. So зараз, and then tell me how is the weather in Taipei? I don't know if you agree, but I would say it's warm and rainy. So maybe we can say that. It's not warm. It's cold again. Now it's cold and raining. How would you say? Okay, that's good. I'm Ukrainian, okay? Okay, let's say зараз холодно і дощово. Yeah, that's good. And maybe one more word that you might need to describe type of weather is going to be hot. Oh, sorry. It's a good time. It's not hot in Ukraine often. That's the word. Жарко. So it's hot. If one day it's hot again in Tampa, you can say "Сегодня жарко," which is like it's hot today. All right. So they describe weather. If you want more words, I guess they're here. I'm not sure if we have time to translate this, but these are the most common, I would say, to describe type of weather. Anyways, then we got the waiter. The waiter comes, официант, and he says, even каже, let's see. What does he say? Ви готові замовляти. Okay, let's again. Ви готові замовляти. Okay, so готові is ready. And it's for plural, so it's adjective. Ви готові, are you ready? And замовляти is to order. So that's what the waiter would say. Ви готові замовляти? Are you ready to order? And if you want to say, I'm ready, how would you say? Please mind that this is for plural. So if you're a girl, let's start with the ladies. If you're a lady and you want to say, I'm ready, how would you say? Yeah, that's good. Я готова, so I'm ready. If you are a gentleman, sorry, one word, so you just get G. How would you say I'm ready? Yeah, я готовий. So я готовий замовляти, for example. And if it's plural, so let's say we are ready to order. So it's going to be ми. We. That's good. Once again, ми готові. So this one just means I'm ready and we are ready. If you want to go out and you want to ask if your friend is ready, you can say "Ти готовий?" and your friend would be like, "Yes, I'm ready." Так, я готовий. Okay, and then Makola is going to order something. Let's see what he's going to order. Так. Гречку, that's good. Once again, так. Мені, будь ласка, борщ, стейк і гречку. Alright, so every time you want to order something, the shorter version would be будь ласка, борщ, будь ласка, стейк, будь ласка, гречка. Over here, you've got one extra word, which is many. It's like to me, like for me. And the only thing that happens when you add the word many, you would say будь ласка because you're polite, please. And then if it's masculine, you don't change. If it's neutral, you don't change. If it's feminine that ends with a, you change to u. If it's feminine that ends with ya, you need to change to you. So that's what happens. That's why гречка ends with a, but since it's feminine, we change it to u. Так, мені, будь ласка, борщ, стейк і гречку. So the translation would be, yes, please, I would like to get some борщ, steak, and the last thing is something that is hard to find in Taiwan again. It's the buckwheat. Oh, that's the one. It's something that Ukrainians like a lot. It's just the buckwheat, and we sometimes have it instead of rice. It's very healthy, they say. Really hard to find in Taiwan. It's a bit funny. The first time I saw it, you guys used it as a decoration for the table. So it was like inside of the table, dry. and it took me time to find it on Shopee, but it tastes a bit different in Europe than what you could find in Shopee here. I would say it's more delicious. Maybe it's not really a thing in Asia. Actually, it's not a thing in Europe either. It's just in some Slavic countries. If you ask German people, they also don't know what grechka is. So it's like Polish people, Russians, Ukrainians, we like it. And then Akari also orders something. What does she say? Мені, будь ласка, сирники і каву. Okay. Let's say these two words, сирники і каву. Right, I hope I can find a good picture of sirnake because it's actually my favorite food, but it depends on the chef. If he's good, it's going to taste delicious. If not, it's not going to look delicious. Let's find something better looking. So it's pretty much tastes like cheesecake pancakes. So I think it's one of the best breakfast foods ever if you like sweet things. Very easy to make too. I'm not sure if you remember, but before we talked about quark, which is a huge thing in our cuisine. So it's like it's like the cottage cheese, but not salty. And when you take it, it's usually in like little pieces. You could fry it with some flour and sugar and eggs, and that's what you get. And they taste delicious. So if you have a chance to try them out, please do. So once again, the name is sirnike. Alright, so that's what Akari wants. And then Oficent says thank you, good thank you. How do you say that? Добре. Дякую. And then Mikola and Akari also say thank you, which is дякую. Alright, and then after 30 minutes, через 30 хвилин, Mikola would like to ask for the bill. How do you ask for a bill in Ukrainian? So officiant is the waiter. You can skip this word if you want. So he's like, waiter, please, can I have the bill? So waiter is going to be officiant, please would be будь ласка, and then можна рахунок. Okay, so if you want to ask for a bill, that's the most important, these two words. And if you want to be polite, you can add please, будь ласка. But let's say these two words. Can I have the bill? Можна рахунок? Yes. And then officiant says, here you go, and you get to pay 205. How do you say that? Будь ласка. С вас? Oh, sorry, it's 200. 205. So just like in English, 205. 205. And Mikola says, thank you, goodbye. Дякую. До побачення. And Akari says, yeah, do you remember what смачно means? Yes, so very delicious. Let's say again, дуже смачно. And she likes Ukrainian meals, Ukrainian dishes. How to say that? Страви, that's good. So the dishes or meals. Let's say again. Я люблю українські страви. Okay, so a very short dialogue, but very mighty, because there are a few useful expressions, and you're gonna make a dialogue just in a second. But before that, let's review the letters, because I feel like we haven't talked about them for a bit. Let's start with small numbers. Let's do 1 to 16. Are you ready? You're gonna read, okay? I'm not helping, you do. So, let's go. 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
11, 12,
12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And then 17, 18, 19 are missing. How do you say that?
17,
Oh, let's start with 17. 17,
18,
19,
19,
19. And then 20 is over here. 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. And since there is inflation in Ukraine, we need some big numbers too. So these are all the hundreds. I will say, you say after me, okay? Let's start with 100. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1000. And if you want to make these numbers, you just need to follow the logic in English. So just like in English, it's like 121, 505, 768, and so on. So let's try to name these numbers. Let's start with something you're supposed to know by now. 121 is going to be 120, I've heard that, and the last one is Odin. Okay, let's see. Let's again. 120 Odin.
121.
Alright, what about this number? You get 500, which is 500. So how would you say 505? 505. That's good. Let's say 505. So exactly the same logic as in English. Then you've got 768. How would you say that? Yeah, that's good. Let me just show you. So the first one is 700. 68. That's right. Let's again. 768. And the longest is going to be 1513.
This is
Tысяча is good. That's right. 1000, 500, and then you got to say 13, just like in English. 13. That's good. So maybe one more time. Sorry, I made a mistake. I wrote down 15, but it's 13. Once again, 1513. Alright, so not too hard, but what we do now, you've got to create this little dialogue. And if you want to translate, you just need to go back to the text and you've got to find how to say that. So right now I'm gonna write it down on the board. So if you know how to say that, please say it. I'm gonna write it down, okay? So first we get the waiter, and the waiter says hello. How do you say hello in Ukrainian? But if it's polite, if it's... Yes, we've got to start with добрый день, because привет is mostly for friends. If you go to the restaurant, they would greet you with polite one. Добрый день. And then the next thing we've got to translate is, are you ready to order? How do you say that? Yeah, that's very good. And I will open it because I actually typed it here. So once again, добрий день. Ви готові замовляти? And then the customer would say, hello, yes, I would like something and something. That's good. Let's start with добрий день. And then you get to say yes. Так. And then I would like something and something. So мені, будь ласка, blank space і blank space. So let's say this part too. Добрий день. Так, мені, будь ласка, something і something. So the customer would say, can I have a bill, please? How do you say that? And let's start with please. Будь ласка. Yeah, that's good. Будь ласка, можна рахунок? Question mark. So let's say, будь ласка, можна рахунок? Alright, and then the waiter says, sure, alright, it will be, and the price. You just could say good, which is добре, just the way to agree. So добре, and then yeah, з вас. So you've got to pay. Z is from, вас is you, but that's how you would say you've got to pay something. З вас, and then you just say the number. З вас 205, з вас 12, whatever number. So let's say добре, з вас, and you say the number, and then you get to say thank you and bye, which is okay, let's say дякую. До побачення. Alright, so that was your dialogue, and we get to order some Ukrainian food now. So I actually went to Rio Puzata Hata, and that's the real prices in that restaurant now. So you might choose something that you want to try. Let's just see what options we've got here. The words are very long because they like to describe everything that's going on, but we don't need to read everything. We just need to read the main phrases, okay? So let's see. The first is something everyone knows. What's the name of it? Yes, once again, borscht. The second one is the soup, and soups are super important for Ukrainians. We love a good soup. This soup over here is a bit sour, and it has all the vegetables and meat, and it's red again because it's tomato based. What's the name? Okay, once again, solyanka. So it's kind of like borscht, but if it was sour and without the beetroot. So the next is very easy to read, it's just the cheese cream soup. How do you say cream soup?
Cream soup.
Okay, let's say crème soup.
Cream soup.
And the one here is going to be the chicken soup. Good, let's say bouillon. It's a French taken word, so it's just the French soup, the chicken soup. Alright, then we get all types of meat, and as you can see, we like them in the form of the cutlet. So number one is when you take the chicken and you hit it many times, and then it looks flat, and you fry it. I guess that's like your fried chicken. That's how we would call it. Okay, let's say биточок. And then three types of cutlets. So let's just say котлета. And this котлета is the one I hope you remember, the Kiev chicken, which is oh yeah, and classical is класична, but we don't need that word. Let's say котлета по-київськи. And the one here is going to be steak. Alright, so I'm gonna order from you, and you've got to tell me the price. Alright? So it's not that easy. And we just follow this dialogue. So I'm gonna be the customer. Sorry, I'm gonna be the customer, you're gonna be the waiter. So could you start with the first sentence, please? Okay, what I've heard was good. You said добрий день, ви готові замовляти. I'm gonna say добрий день. Так, мені, будь ласка, крем-суп. And then I say if I can have the bill and you need to tell me the price, okay? So I'm saying, будь ласка, можна рахунок? And you say,
Не можна.
and that's all. Once again. Добре. З вас 46. And next to it, you can see this shortening for hryvnia. We don't learn how to say the full sentence because hryvnia would change depending on the number. So we just keep it. Alright, so that was me ordering the cream soup, and I just thought since there are not so many of you coming for the last class, it would be nice if I can give you 3 extra points. And for that, you just need to record this dialogue, and you need to order from yourself, and you need to kind of like tell the price to yourself too. And then you're gonna get 3 extra points to your final exam, okay? So let's practice again. I actually have more food here. So let's read this first, and then we practice, and then you record nicely, and then you get extra 3 points to your final, okay? So let's see what we've got. The one that's Ukrainians like, the bucket wheat. What's the name again? Let's say гречка. Then we got some potatoes. Actually, we had this word, didn't we? How do you say potato?
Картопля.
Yeah, good. Once again, картопля.
Картопля.
Oh, then this is something we love a lot. That's the mashed potatoes. In Ukrainian, we use the French word again, which is puree. Yeah, and this is going to be just vegetables. So how do you say vegetables? Yeah, once again, овочи. And over here you have a salad. How do you say salad?
Салат.
Okay, let's say salad. That's a different salad, and that's a different salad. These two are the most popular in Ukraine, and the Slavic word. So this one is known as the Russian salad. All around the world. Actually, we call it olivia. Russian people also call it olivia. The Russian salad is the one which has lots of mayo, potatoes, and maybe onions, maybe carrots, it depends, but also peas and some meat. So all around the world, they usually call it the Russian salad, and we call it olivia. Yeah, Russian people would call it olivia too. And the one here has a very funny name. It's called the fish under the coat. And it has lots of layers. I don't think it's the most delicious salad. Actually, I think it doesn't taste good. But it has potatoes, it has marinated fish, it has onions, it has carrots. And it all like in layers. And the top layer is beetroots, but beetroots are much better in borscht, so I don't recommend this salad. But you can choose something else, okay? So we got a few options like гречка, картопля, пюре, овочи, и salad. So you can choose something from here and record that, okay? So once again, let's say the numbers and the name of the food because you need it, okay? So let's start with the buckwheat. What's the name again? Гречка. Okay, once again, гречка. And how much is it? It's 38, which is 38. That's good. So if you want to order гречка, price would be 38. So let's again, гречка. 38. Okay, number 2 is going to be potatoes. How do you say potatoes?
Картопля.
Okay, let's again, картопля. And how much is it? Yeah, it's 38 again. And after that, we've got the mashed potatoes. Okay, let's again puree. And very convenient, the price is exactly the same, which is, yeah, like you, 38, so 38. And then we've got vegetables. What do you say vegetables? Овощи. And this time it's going to be 52. What do you say, 52? Yeah, that's good. Once again, 52. And after that, I guess we can just do one salad, maybe the first time. So how do you say salad? Salad. And then, what's the price? Actually, don't see. Oh yeah, okay, let's say 36. Right, so actually this same menu can be found in the worksheet. So if you have it, you've got more options. If you don't have the worksheet, you can choose one of these. So if you have the worksheet, it's up to you. You can choose any item on the menu. And you've got to record this dialogue, as I said. So let's practice and let's order the salad. Okay, let's be on the diet today. So just in a few seconds, you're going to record for some extra points. Got it? Okay, let's go. You've got to say, hello, are you ready to order? Which is, okay, let's say again, добрый день. And then, are you ready to order? It's going to be, okay, let's say again, ви готові замовляти. Right, and then you need to say again. Let's say, добрий день. And then this time, we order salad. You can choose something else later. So you would say, yes, please, salad. Так, мені, будь ласка, салат. And then you get to say, may I have the bill, please. Будь ласка, можна рахунок, okay? And then the waiter would say, good, you've got to pay 36. Добре. З вас 36. Okay, so that's what you're gonna do. I'm not sure if you find it a bit difficult, so maybe... Do I need to read again? I can do some Latin. Okay, so for those who struggle a bit, guys, can you help me now? So if you feel like it's a bit complicated, I will try to write Latin. Okay, so we start with good afternoon. Once again, how do you say it? Yes, добрый день. So please say that when you record, and then are you ready to order? It's going to be ви готові замовляти. Okay, that's good. And then you get to say good afternoon. Добрий день. And then yes, please, something. Так. Мені, будь ласка. And then please choose something. Salad is the easiest to say, so maybe that's the option. And then you get to ask for the bill. Please, the bill. Будь ласка. Можна рахунок. And the last one is going to be good. You get to pay something. Добре. З вас. And then the number. Okay, so that's something you get to record now, okay? Could you please take your phones, Teams, and please record the whole dialogue, choose something for you. If you don't want this page, and if you have the worksheet, you can choose something else. Alright, I feel like everyone has finished, so I was kind of watching you guys. I think we've got it. Okay, and let's finish with something brighter. Let's say, with the hope for Ukraine. That's kind of a famous quote from our president, Volodymyr Zelensky, that he said when the war just happened, and he had a speech with some commission from the European Union. And it's such a famous quote that it even made it to the cover of the magazine Time. That's pretty much what he said. Let's read that. So that's the same. Could you read? So the first word is going to be, that's good, let's say життя.
Життя.
And then,
Emotions. Смеется. Терпяту.
yeah, that's good. Let's again, життя
Життя.
переможе
Переможе.
смерть, світ темряву. So back then, he had a speech where he wanted to say that all the good will win the bad. So over here it goes like life will win over the death, and the light will win over the darkness. Pretty much trying to portray that Ukraine is gonna win because we're on the good side. So that was his idea in mind when he was saying that. Yeah, so once again, the speech of Volodymyr Zelensky regarding the entrance of Ukraine to European Union, життя переможе смерть, світ темряву. And this idea of, it was, okay, sorry, it was actually one of the first speeches that he gave in the parliament, and Ukrainians were very proud because we felt like it was kind of a mighty speech. It was the first speech that we heard from him that kind of like touched the soul of Ukrainians. Let's hear it. So that's him saying that, and I hope you can get it now. Same phrase.
Дійсно, європейці. І тоді життя переможе смерть, а світ темряву. Слава Україні!
Right, so that was the end of his speech, and right now you're gonna listen to one song which is about the light. It came way before his speech, but could you please scan the QR code?